I gotta get right, bro. The combat is nice. The combat is nice.
I've been playing 007 First Light since early access started yesterday. And honestly, I didn't even expect the game to feel this much like a Bond movie, bro. Not just the action, but the actual spy fantasy, bro. Check me out, just listen up. Look, the moment it clicked for me was during the MI6 training section. It really felt like one of those classic action movies where the new recruit is learning everything like combat, driving, shooting, and all that other stuff in like a montage form, and it was just real fun. And what surprised me immediately was how naturally they transitioned us between all of these different gameplay styles. You're not just sneaking around the whole time. The game constantly moves you between infiltration, investigation, action, social stealth. Like it just puts you through a lot of stuff and balances it really well. And this is where the game really started feeling different from other stealth games to me, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't just feel like a silent assassin, you actually feel like a spy. And that's the best part. You're constantly gathering information, listening to conversations, sneaking into restricted areas, distracting people, pickpocketing people, all type of stuff. Like it makes you really feel like a spy. And sometimes you can even bluff your way through situations. Sometimes you can't. It depends. Like you gotta really play it, man. And that creates a lot of tension because you're constantly trying to stay one step ahead without fully knowing if you know what I'm saying, your cover is about to collapse. But that's just a Bond thing. And that's what makes it so great. One thing I really like so far though is how the game handles mistakes. Cause a lot of stealth games completely fall apart once you get spotted. It's just like, it's so much to handle or it's not interacting with you right. But here, some of the best moments actually happen when things actually don't go according to plan. You can improve with gadgets, the environment, combat, bluffing, and it really creates those real cinematic recovery moments, know what I'm saying? Like, it feels less like trying to be perfect and more like surviving situations that Bond would, which really helps separate the game from a lot of games, matter of fact. And the best example of this so far was tracking down the Bellhop during the second mission. Man, this was so fun. The game did a really good job building tension during the sequence. I kept getting closer and closer to him, but he was always staying just ahead of me, like in the movies, how you will see the bad guy from down the hall and they just take off. And then you have to just keep chasing them and chasing them and chasing them until you lose them. And then suddenly he just disappears. And then boom, he comes out of nowhere and just attacks me, bro. Like the shit was, it was crazy. I chased him to the cellar just for me to get cornered. And that entire sequence generally felt like something straight out of a Bond movie. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna cap. And honestly, the combat surprised me as well. Like I expected a basic action combat, but it's actually pretty cinematic. You can throw objects, slam enemies into walls, parry attacks, chain hits together. It's wild. But the important thing is timing though. That's the most important thing that I learned here. If you panic and mash buttons, you're gonna get destroyed. The fights feel chaotic in a good way, like Bond trying to survive under pressure. And you know he will, you just gotta get right. And I think this is what makes the game feel different, know what I'm saying? This isn't just a stealth game. It genuinely feels like a spy action adventure. I feel like we haven't had that in a while. I mean, y'all might hate me for this. Drop it down in the comments, but I have not played Uncharted. Drop a boo down in the comments if you think I'm sleeping on playing Uncharted, because I have yet to play that. But we honestly haven't had many games that capture this kind of cinematic spy fantasy, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is what's making the game above and beyond. And maybe this is gonna sound weird, but this game reminds me of why people miss these kind of single player experiences. You know what I'm saying? Where you could just come home, sit down, and just play the game and have fun. You don't have to worry about going online, sweats, cheating, toxicity, you know what I'm saying? Online drama. You don't have to deal with none of that. This is that old school plug and play, let's go and have some fun. You know what I'm saying? Just a really immersive spy adventure, and I appreciate that. And I haven't even touched the TACSIM yet. This is the crazy part. That honestly might end up being the mode that keeps people playing, you know what I'm saying, long term, because the story mode essentially it gives you freedom, but it's guiding you at the same time. So you can do stuff, but you can't really go outside of certain boundaries, and you have to follow the script in a certain type of way. It doesn't really hold you back, but it does make sure you stay on story, which is important. In TACSIM, you can do other things like challenge runs, leaderboards, stealth mastery, all type of stuff, replaying missions differently, how do you want to approach it. It's going to be good, but the story mode is just meant to be the story. And I feel like that's important for people to understand. Don't look at the story as, oh, I'm limited. Look at the story as what they want it to be, a James Bond origin story. That's what it is. And that has huge potential for this kind of game, you know what I'm saying? Like the TACSIM, it really does give us more content to play with, and I can't wait for them to drop more. But so far, after my first few hours with 007 First Light, I think the biggest thing I could say is this game understands the cinematic fantasy of being a spy, period. Not just the action, but the pacing, the improvisation, the investigation, the tension, all of that stuff ties in together beautifully when you're playing the story and you're trying to learn how James Bond operates and who this new character is. And honestly, I really want to keep playing. So with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all later because I got more content to drop for you. Stay tuned if you want to see more.